All right, what is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to break down Facebook ads for realtors and walking you through my step-by-step strategy. And there's 10 overall steps that you must nail, that you must understand, that you must implement, and that you must nail in order to have big success when it comes to paid Facebook ads and generating as many, if not more leads than you can handle inside your real estate business. Look, the reality is this, is Facebook is one of the best mediums that exists out there to grow our real estate business. If this is something that you choose to go out there and implement, Facebook ads is something that I've personally done since 2015. Has been a huge part of my business and continues to be a huge part of my business today. One of the big vehicles that's allowed me to go out there and become one of the top realtors and team leaders on the planet was selling well over 7,000 homes. But what I see, I have so many realtors, team leaders, broker owners reaching out to me that have tried Facebook ads with very little to no success. And every single time it's because they're missing one of these 10 steps. You got to make sure you got all 10 of these dialed in if you want to have success with generating, and not just generating Facebook leads, but closing deals. We can generate leads, but we got to close deals. So we got to know how to generate the lead and what to do with that lead to close that deal. And I'm going to be breaking down all of that today. So whether you are just thinking about starting to deploy Facebook ads in your real estate business, or you've done them before, or you're currently doing them and you're just looking to scale your results, today is going to be massively, or this podcast is going to be massively beneficial for you. And when it comes to Facebook ads, I can tell you this from somebody that, again, has been doing this for 20 years, sold over 7,000 homes, that's tried anything and everything pretty much inside this real estate business when it comes to marketing and prospecting. Facebook has been one of, if not the highest ROI thing, return on my investment, when it comes to paid marketing, that I've ever experienced and ever seen. It's not difficult to get a 10x, even a 20x return on your overall investment. When it, like, put in $1 and you get 10 back, or put in $1, you get 20 back. The ROI, if you do this, can be massive inside your real estate business. All right, so I'm going to break down these 10 steps, but real quick before I do so, make sure you visit gsdmode.com for more additional free training and more additional free resources. And I highly encourage you to take 2 actions on gsdmode.com. Number 1, I've got a free in-depth 3-hour masterclass taking place right now, which is called 6 Steps to 3Xing Your Real Estate Business or More within the next 12 months in this challenging market that we're in. So if your business is down, if your business is struggling, or you're just maybe having a challenge making your goals a reality, I highly encourage you to jump on that free masterclass, 100% free, no strings attached, just amazing information that will change your business and change your life. Also, if you would like to, you can schedule a 100% free Zoom coaching call with me personally, where you and I can sit on this Zoom call for 60 minutes, break down your business, where your business is at, what your 12-month goals are, long-term goals are, what your biggest obstacles are, what your situation is. And then based on that information, I'm going to map out for you what my recommended blueprint strategy is for you personally to get from where you're at to where it is that you want to go. So if you want to take advantage of these free resources, again, gsdmode.com. Okay, so let's just jump on into Facebook. Now, the first one isn't an actual step. It is just, well, why Facebook? So if we look at Facebook, there's a few reasons as to why Facebook is so powerful. So number 1 is the targeting that you can do when it comes to Facebook. You can get so detailed, so granular, making sure that your message, the right message, is showing up in front of the right people. And with custom audiences and all of the different things that we can do with retargeting, Facebook is just the best platform that I have found from a targeting and retargeting perspective. So again, you can make sure that you are showing up in front of people that have the highest probability of needing your services in the market. The secondary reason is the demographic. Like if I go to my kids and I'm talking about Facebook, they'll sit there and say, oh, just old people on Facebook. I've got a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and an 11-year-old, right? Well, if we look at who's buying and selling real estate right now today, the average first-time home buyer throughout the US is now 37 years old. So if we look at who's buying or selling, especially in this market right now in 2024, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same in 2025. I don't think there's going to be any dramatic changes between now and then. I'm really targeting 40 to 55-year-old married couples, because with the unaffordability crisis that we are in, they're in peak income earning years. They've usually been in a home for a decent amount of time where they have some great equity. Like, they can play ball in this market, or have the highest probability of doing so. So if we look at the demographic that's on Facebook, Facebook has also now surpassed LinkedIn as the number one platform for the affluent. So it's really the upper middle class and the affluent. It's like very difficult if you're, at least in my market. Your market might be different, but in my market, like, if you're not making 200 grand a year household income, like, it's kind of difficult to go out there and buy something decent in this marketplace, right? So the demographic is spot on for Facebook for those that are buying and selling real estate. Also, the overall cost per lead is very, very inexpensive compared to even Google pay-per-click, compared to, especially like you start getting into Zillow's, Realtor.coms, where you might be paying $300, $500 a lead. Okay, I can go generate a lead, a high quality lead, if you will, for $10. Now, I can generate $1 leads, and I'll talk to you about that more in a minute, but I want that, $10 lead, not the $1 lead. And again, I'll talk to you about that as we go deeper into these steps, because I want to be targeted. In that way, I can have a higher conversion rate of number of leads per conversions. But the overall cost per lead, which means that, okay, if you're doing the right follow-up, your cost per acquisition is very low. Like, I don't know another medium, another platform where we can go spend $500 and make 15 grand, right? So and then the other thing with Facebook is, okay, the average person, and again, we're talking about the demographic that we're looking at, is on inside their Facebook app on Facebook about 31 minutes per day. So, and that's 7 days a week. And that's the average, right? So people spend a lot of time on this platform, and we need to make sure our message is showing up in front of the right people. Okay, so step number 2 here is you got to understand timeline for this lead source. Now, any lead source that you're doing, to understand timeline is really, really crucial, really, really important, because you got to give yourself enough time to start seeing results. So I want you to understand that Facebook is what I call a disruptive marketing platform, meaning that nobody goes on Facebook to opt into a real estate ad. They're going on there to check out friends, family, to be entertained, to kind of escape for life, escape boredom, whatever that may be. And then, okay, we just capture them with our compelling ad, get them to opt in. So these are typically further down the funnel people. So my average Facebook lead is inside my CRM for 6.7 months before becoming a customer, before becoming a real estate client. So then it's on average about a 9 month to payday. So why is this important? I see so many real estate agents or team leaders or broker owners that will start doing Facebook ads for 2 months. And then they're like, oh, I didn't have any conversions. So they just quit. You got to give things enough time. So you want to make sure that, okay, if I'm going to go after this source, it's kind of like if you were to go out there and do direct mail in a geo farm area and capture market share in that area. Like, it's pretty well known in our industry that if you have the right frequency and the right messaging, like, it's going to take 9 to 12 months before you're going to start seeing any ROI on that. So with Facebook, I would expect, if I'm you, I would expect, and just set this as your expectation so you don't abandon it too quick, of, okay, for my first 9 months, I'm not going to close any deals. It's going to be 9 months without any element of income, any element of ROI. Now, look, if you're generating a lot of leads through Facebook, yeah, you're going to get lucky and you're going to pop some deals before that. But if we just set the right expectations, we then allow ourselves enough time to create success with that thing. Okay, step number 3 is setting your budget. So when it comes to your budget, like I said, okay, if you are going to invest money into this thing and not expecting any ROI for the next 9 months, okay, how much can you afford to spend daily? So monthly, then chunk that down to daily, because on Facebook ads, it's going to charge you per day. How much can you afford to spend each and every single day where it isn't going to break the bank? It isn't going to kill you. It isn't going to hurt you. Yeah, it's going to suck if you lose that money. So we want to stick with it and make sure that we're doing it right, but it's not going to break you. It's not going to hurt your business. It's not going to put you in the broke house, right? So whether that's $5 a day, $10 a day, like, pick your budget based on that factor. Then from there, my recommendation is to stay there, play red light, green light, stay at that budget until you are making at a minimum a 4 to 1 return on your investment. So if you're spending, putting in $1, you're getting $4 back. Or I'm spending $100, I'm getting $400 back. Spend $1,000, I'm getting $4,000 back. And I like to stay at that return level for 3 consecutive months, then I'll double my ad spend. That's kind of my overall budget scale strategy, with this. And like I said, with Facebook, once you're in that 9 to 12 month range, if you're doing all these other steps correctly, you should be hitting like a 10x return on your investment, not just a 4x. So make sure that you are setting the right budget. Okay, so then step number 4 is, before we launch the ads, you want to make sure that you have your systems in place. This is a longer term nurture source, so you need to make sure that you got your CRM in place and that you've got it set up correctly. The fortune is in the follow-up, so we want to make sure that your follow-up system, it's like, before I add leads into the machine, I need to have the conversion machine in place, right? And this is, again, where I see so many people go wrong, not with just Facebook ads, but all types of lead sources, is they start generating the leads, but they don't have the right adequate follow-up protocol. So, okay, I get a Facebook lead, they're going to get an instantaneous autoresponder email, instantaneous autoresponder text. So I'm going to have my CRM set up where that Facebook lead is dumped automatically into my CRM, and it's going to kick all this off and queue all of this off. So it's going to automatically send the autoresponder email, automatically send the autoresponder text message. It's going to automatically set them up on my 1,000-day long email text strip. It's automatically going to start tasking me to do my phone calls. And I'm going to call them that same day, then every other day for the first 14 days, then every 21 days for that first year. And that is just in place. And that sounds aggressive, but that's just in place until I get them on the phone. I understand what their goal and timeline is. Set the appointment if I'm able or appropriate, if unable or appropriate, because I know their goal and timeline. Now I know how to then set my ongoing follow-up calls to maximize their conversions for if and when they're ready, based on their goal and timeline. So we want to make sure that we've got our follow-up process set in place and we know what that is. So then that way we can convert these leads, because leads are irrelevant if we can't convert them. And you've all heard the saying that fortune is in the follow-up. Okay, step number 5 is to make sure that you are tracking this. So when you are tracking, and I just use Google Drive, Google Sheets, it's free, but we're tracking, okay, number of leads. We want to track your average cost per lead. So number of leads, cost per lead. Then we want to track energy and effort. So how many reach outs, meaning how many dials, how many conversations, how many appointments set, appointment conductions, clients closings. So then that way you can sit there and see your overall conversions and track this, so your business can become predictable, but then also see areas of improvement inside your business. Now, to give just some expectations here, between, by about month number 9, you should be closing about 1% of your Facebook leads. So about 1 out of 100. So between about 9 to 12 months, that's typically what we're going to see if you're doing a good job with this. But then 12 to 18 months, once you get in about a year into this, okay, you should be converting about 2. And then between 12 and 18 months, so 1 out of 50 leads. Then from there, after about 18 months, you can start getting, if you are really ninja with this, like a 3% conversion, sometimes a little bit beyond that. Now, I know that sounds low, but remember, if these are, $5, $10, depending on your market, $10 cost per lead, okay, if you're closing 1 out of 50, that means that you're paying $500 total marketing costs to go out there and generate, like in my market, an average of a $15,000+ commission, right? So the ROI on this is massive, right? Even though the conversions are a little bit lower. And the longer that you keep doing this, because it's a longer term nurture source, the greater those conversions are going to increase. Okay, then step number 6 here is you got to nail your targeting. So I talked about earlier why one of the reasons why Facebook is so damn good is because of the targeting capabilities. So as an example, like, you need to know in your market who's buying, who's selling, where are they coming from, where are they going, what are they buying, what are they selling, why are they buying, why are they, like, you got to know those things. So then we can shift and pivot, our energy, our focus, our attention to who the current market is good for. So as an example, in my market, I'm in a more of a reload market, and I know the top 10 states and all the metros within those states that people are relocating to my market from. So let's just say, okay, California is an example. I got a lot of people moving from California to my market. Now, California is a massive state with a massive population. So then, but it's like 90% of the people relocating from California to my market come from just a few counties. We got San Francisco Bay Area, we got LA and Riverside, and then we got San Diego. Or I've got a lot of people from Canada buying secondary, kind of winter homes down here. Well, Canada's got 10 provinces. Those of you that aren't in Canada, they, instead of calling them states, they call them provinces. So they got 10, think of it as 10 states, right? 10 provinces. But then from that, okay, there's pretty much only 2 provinces that the vast majority of people that are buying winter homes in my market come from. And then within that, 3 metros. We got Calgary, I got Edmonton, and then I got Toronto. So okay, now instead of marketing all of Canada, which is a massive country, 30 million plus people, like now I'm just targeting 3 metros. Or okay, I got a lot of people from Illinois moving here. Now from Illinois, it's pretty much just Chicagoland, or a lot of people from Washington State. But then with Washington State, I'm just targeting like Seattle Metro. So make sure that when you're targeting, okay, you are targeting your ads to he or she that has the highest probability of needing your services. So make sure that you are nailing your targeting. Okay, then step number 7, you are going to need, if we're generating buyer leads, which is what I do with Facebook ads, and look, when we're targeting buyer leads, like we get a lot of people that also need to sell and buy. So, and then I know I use the out-of-state example on targeting. Let me just hit on this point real quick. You also might have a lot of in-state people, but you got to know, okay, well, what are the surrounding cities, areas that they're moving from to my area? So I can, because you want to show up what people want with where they're at. That's what this is all about. Facebook allows me, like, you want to sell the vacation to where the people are living that want to go vacation there. So I'm just selling them like, okay, if they're living over here, I'm going to run ads to where they're located with what I know. My ad itself is going to be what I know that they want, right? That's the pleasure that they're looking for. They're currently experiencing pain with their current living situation. They want out of that pain. They want the pleasure. I'm showing ads with the pleasure. So if I'm an airline, like I'm not going to sit there and run ads to go out there and buy my airline tickets. Like I'm running ads of the destination, of the vacation. Once they've raised their hand, then I start to articulate that, hey, we've got the best airline, the best prices to get you to that dream vacation that you want to go out there and take, right? So just make sure that you know you're targeting. Okay, step number 7 is you're going to need a website to drive them to with IDX data. So when I'm running ads with what I know that these people want in my marketplace, once they opt in inside Facebook, well, then I need to drive them to my website so they can view and see what I'm having them sign up for to go out there and view and see. So if I'm running, an ad of, wow, check out all these amazing homes currently for sale in Phoenix, the Phoenix metropolitan area, all featuring sparkling swimming pools, 2,500 plus square feet, 4 plus bedrooms, 3 plus bathrooms, 3 plus car garage, and more, all currently listed in the $600 to $1 million price point. See photos, information, price, monthly mortgage payment amounts, and more. Click here. So then they opt in. But then from there, okay, I need to make sure that I'm directing them to my IDX website where they can see what I told them that they can go out there and see. All the properties, the information, the photos, price, monthly mortgage payment amounts, all of that stuff, right? So I'm going to drive them to my website. Okay, now step number 8, once we have all of that in place, is the actual ad setup. So when it comes to the ad setup, before you set up your ad, my recommendation is to create 2 custom audiences. So when you're in your Facebook ads manager, you're going to go to audience, go to all tools, then go to audiences. And I want you to create 2 custom audiences. One is going to be with your entire CRM list. So export CSV file with your entire CRM list. So first name, last name, phone number, email. So then we can exclude in our lead gen ads, we can exclude everybody that's already a lead in our system because we don't want to pay money. And I see that those that don't do these exclusions end up wasting about 20% of their budget, when it comes to their Facebook ads. So I'm going to do that as a custom audience. And I'm going to update that about every 2 to 4 weeks, right? So then you can edit it, do another export, upload it, right, to re-edit that. Then I want you to create another custom audience for any completed lead forms over the last 90 days. So then when we're building out the ad, we are going to exclude these 2 audiences. And then with the lead form audience, every time they build out a new lead form, you can click edit, add in that lead form. So then that way, anybody that just opted in for your ad, they're no longer seeing your ads. Like we don't want to run these types of ads to people that we've already got their information. We've already paid for the lead or got them as a lead in our system, right? That's going to be set up for another step I'm going to talk to you about with retargeting. So, okay, now we got our custom audience. Then from there, we're going to make sure to go build out our website, IDX search. So in my market, like with my ideal buyer client, I know what they want. I know what cities they want to be in. I know what subdivisions are most popular that they want. I know the type of property that they want, the features that they want, the price points that they want. So I'm going to make sure my ad is showing up. Like it's like that movie Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. It's kind of no different than, okay, if I do an open house, I'm going to do an open house. Property selection is so important. If I do the open house in the area and the type of property that my ideal buyer client wants, I have the highest probability of them walking in the door. Same thing with our Facebook ads. I'm making sure to display what I know that they want. Remember, we're thinking about this when it comes to these ads is, okay, I'm showing the pleasure that people want to where to the people that are experiencing the pain, because real estate and all sales is just pain and pleasure. They're experiencing pain with their current living situation. They want out of that pain. They want to the pleasure. So I'm showing the ad to the people with the pain. And what I'm displaying the ad is the pleasure I know that they want. So when I'm running very specific Facebook ads, like, wow, check out all these amazing homes currently for sale in Peoria, Arizona, all featuring sparkling swimming pools, 4+ bedrooms, 3+ bathrooms, 2,500 plus square feet, 3+ car garage, and more, all currently listed between $600,000 and $1 million. For more information, photos, monthly mortgage payment amounts, and more, click the learn more button below. Like, it's very, very targeted, very, very specific. And I do that intentionally because anybody that's not looking for that type of product, they're just going to be excluded. They're not going to click and engage in that ad. So I can go out there and generate dollar leads or under dollar leads if I'm running like, oh, buy cheaper than you can rent, or foreclosure ads. But then next thing you know, I'm sifting and sorting through 500 leads to go out there and close one deal. So yes, I'm paying more for a lead, but my obsession is not my cost per lead. My obsession is my cost per acquisition. So yeah, I'm going to be paying more cost per lead, but when I'm targeted like this, I'm able to get higher quality leads, so I get better conversions with this. So we want to build out that website. The IDX website, I already talked about that in a previous step. So we have that in place. Then from there, when it comes to your images, because images, when you're building out your ad, and what you're going to want to do is go build out a lead form ad. So when you go into Ads Manager, building out your ad, you're going to select leads, and then you'll go in and select instant lead form. That's the style of ad that you want to do. And if you're like, well, I don't know how to build out an instant form ad, okay, you can go into Facebook help and look at tutorials. I'm walking you through the strategies that you need, not necessarily the little granular how-tos. That stuff is easy to figure out. The strategy is difficult to figure out. What I'm covering here with you today, what buttons to push is easy to figure out. But the image is what captures their attention. So you want to make sure that you've got a compelling image. And so, like, for me, I know in my area, everybody wants a sparkling swimming pool, especially with my ideal buyer client right now, that backyard that looks like a resort with that sparkling swimming pool. So I always lead off with 90% of the time, my images are going to be sparkling swimming pools. So like, what the most popular features are and the type of homes in your market are, to be able to run in your market. So I'm going to make sure that I've spent a lot of time making sure I got the right images. Okay. Then we're going to go in and start setting up the lead form ad. I'm going to make sure that I upload the right image. I'm going to have, so look at the image, then boom, they're going to look at the headline, and then they're going to read the text. All of that exists to create curiosity, to speak to what they want, to get them to opt in. So I've already went through like what my text, and that's pretty much exactly what my ads say. Wow, check out these amazing homes currently listed for sale in, Buckeye, Arizona, all featuring sparkling swimming pools, 4+ bedrooms, 3+, right? Like, I'm speaking specifically to what they want and giving a concise call to action. So they click that learn more button. They're going to opt in inside Facebook, and with Facebook's instant lead form ads. This is why I need to connect that with my CRM. So then when they click that submit button, boom, that information gets pulled right directly into my Perfect Storm CRM. If you don't have a website in a CRM that can do all this, go check out perfectstorm@demo.com. That's the one that I have and that I use. Badass system to help you do all of this. So then that lead gets absorbed and accepted. Then from there, after they've submitted their information, they're going to land on a little message that says, thank you for submitting information, to check out all homes currently for sale with this criteria, click this button here. They're taking my website. They're able to go view those. Okay. So then from there, what I recommend once you have your ad built out is I recommend to give it 5 to 7 days before judging the ad performance. Facebook needs a little bit of time to go out there and test audiences. Now, one thing I forgot to tell you, when it comes to targeting, I am targeting the geographical location, and I'm targeting based on the ad copy that I use. But when it comes to demographics, when it comes to all of that stuff, I'm not putting in anything in there. We used to. like back in 2015, like back in the day, I had to put in like mortgage calculator, had to put in, whatever, like, their behaviors to make sure that we are selecting the right people. Facebook has gotten so damn good and so damn intelligent. Facebook has access to your phone, to your microphone. They're listening to every one of your conversations. They know who's looking to buy and sell real estate. So it's going to put your ads in front of the right people, but they need a little bit of time to go out there and test that ad. So I'm going to let her, pick a budget, $5 a day starting. I'll let Facebook do its thing, right, to make sure that all, and then after 5 to 7 days, now I'll start judging that ad and scaling if I need to scale. And then from there, when I'm ready to scale, I'll scale about 30 to 50% of my ad spend, every 3 to 5 days. So I don't want to, if I'm spending $5 a day, I don't want to just go in there and all of a sudden start spending $20 a day, right? There's such a thing as scaling too fast, and then the results don't translate over when it comes to that. So then now we've generated these leads. One last caveat here, if it's been a long time since you've done Facebook ads, when you're building out your Facebook ad, you do have to select that you are in a, special category. Got to select real estate because we are in a special ad category. We cannot, discriminate based on age, sex, gender. So it's just going to be to everybody 18 plus that your ad's going out to. Like no longer can you just, I just want to show up and, for women between this age, like you can't do that anymore. Right. So Facebook got sued for that. So you're going to have to select that special ad category. And if you don't, your ads probably won't get approved. And if they do get approved, like you're going to risk getting your account shut down. So make sure that you're setting that up. Okay. Now step number 9 is where it comes into retargeting. Now you don't have to retarget if your follow-up is on point, but this just helps add massively to it and will increase your overall follow-up conversions. Like this is the thing that took me from getting about 1 out of 50 conversions to down to about 1 out of 40 conversions, right? So it makes a big difference. So now retargeting, anybody that's in my CRM, or that's completed that instant lead form, which would also be in my CRM. Now I'm going to run retargeting ads. So these are going to be reach or video view ads. And I'm going to make sure to set up where they're getting, these at least 3 times a week, see my messages in there. And this is just going to be, because we don't need to generate a lead. So this is pennies on the dollar. So this is going to be things like social proof, right? So like testimonials, just lists, just solds, educational, informational stuff like market updates, top neighborhoods, top X reasons of living in your area, all of those things. So then that way it just keeps your name, your face, in front of them, but then gets them to have more experiences with you. My goal with the retargeting is when I get them on the phone, they're not like, hey, wait, who are you? Why are you calling me? They're like, oh yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, I see your stuff all the time. Right? That's my goal with the retargeting, and it will make a difference on your overall conversions. Step number 10 that you need to nail. I talked about this earlier, but you got to nail the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. You got to nail the follow-up. Appointments get set on the phones, and a mistake that so many make is they think that because this isn't, outbound, this isn't cold calling, this isn't outbound, these are inbound leads, that they can just automate everything. And I'm here to tell, I wish we could, I automate a lot, but when it comes to the phone calls, like we still got to do them, whether the source is inbound or outbound, we still got to do them. So making sure that you are nailing the follow-up. I know I kind of broke that down earlier, but I just want to add that as that 10th point here because it's so damn important. So these are the 10 steps to have massive success with generating more Facebook leads than you can possibly handle inside your real estate business and getting a massive ROI. If you follow all these 10 steps, if you master them, if you dial them in and you follow them, you will crush it with your Facebook lead generation with growing your real estate business. So I hope that you found this helpful. Truly appreciate you watching and listening. And again, make sure to check out gsdmode.com for those free resources. All right, guys, keep crushing, keep kicking ass. I will see you next time. Peace.